Good afternoon. We have a warm and windy day ahead of us with some clouds starting to fill in as we head into this afternoon. 70 are high Sioux Falls, 71 in Aberdeen and Pierre, and 74 in Rapid City. Then later on this evening and overnight, rain and thunderstorm chances with those strong winds. 50 Sioux Falls, 49 Aberdeen, 51 in Pierre, and 46 in Rapid City. That rain and thunderstorms continue into tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at what you can expect coming up as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
A longtime Madison-based company provides affordable housing options for those in need. Plus,
lawyers for former President Trump argue he should have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. I'm Skyler Henry outside the Supreme Court with the historic case that could impact the upcoming November election.
good afternoon and thanks for having us in. 2 men died in a single vehicle crash near Edgemont yesterday morning. The names of the people involved have not been released. Reports say 2 men in a Ford F-250 were headed south when the truck left the road, overcorrected, and rolled several times down an embankment. Both men inside, a 55-year-old man and 64-year-old man, were pronounced dead at the scene. The South Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating the crash. And an 87-year-old man was also killed in a single vehicle crash yesterday. According to the South Dakota Department of Public Safety, the man was driving a Nissan Terrain near Keystone when the car left the road and hit an embankment and causing the car to roll, coming to a rest on its roof. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigations are ongoing. A power outage impacted parts of the Sioux Falls area early this morning. Xcel Energy reported that the outage started around 7 a.m. According to Xcel's outage map, over 21 several customers were impacted by the outage early on. By 8:30 a.m., power had been restored. In weather, it's pleasant out there. It really feels like spring, Megan.
It really does, but things are going to start changing. We have some thicker clouds starting to move in this afternoon, bringing some rain, even thunderstorms our way. Right now, some sunshine in Sioux Falls, 68 degrees, and that south wind at 17 miles an hour. We have some thicker clouds in Rapid City right now at 71, that south wind at 17 miles an hour. Here is a look at those temperatures. 68 right now in Valentine, 65 Mitchell, 64 in Brookings, 70 in Sisseton, 66 Buffalo, and 63 degrees in Custer. The strongest winds are in central and eastern KELOLAND right now at 15 to 30 miles an hour. And some of those wind gusts in the past hour reaching 35 and 40 miles an hour, like in Mitchell, 44 miles an hour in Aberdeen. Now, these strong winds are going to stick around as we head through the rest of today, into tonight, even through the day tomorrow. We do have some thicker clouds there in western South Dakota and in southeastern KELOLAND. And if we take a look at under those clouds, we could have a few very light rain showers moving through the area. The better chance to see rain and thunderstorms starts later on this evening. Even the chance that some of those thunderstorms could become severe. So for today, the thicker clouds filling in this afternoon. We'll have the strong winds around. Our temperatures are on the warm side. 70 Sioux Falls, 71 the high in Aberdeen and in Pierre, and 74 in Rapid City. We'll watch that rain and thunderstorms get started later on this evening into tonight with those strong winds continuing. 50 Sioux Falls, 49 in Aberdeen, 51 in Pierre, and 46 in Rapid City. On and off rain and thunderstorms continue into the day tomorrow. We'll have a stronger north wind now helping cool things down. 64 are high in Sioux Falls, 65 in Aberdeen, 63 in Pierre, and 58 in Rapid City. We'll keep some of the wind around through the day on Saturday with thicker cloud cover, even some light rain showers throughout the day. And those highs are going to be a little bit on the cooler side still, 40s, 50s to low 60s for highs. Much of the same coming on Sunday. We'll take a closer look at what you can expect for the rest of your week and into this weekend in just a little bit.
Thank you, Megan. The rising stars of mixed martial arts will be stepping into the cage tomorrow night at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls. A crew of more than a dozen people is currently setting up this cage and stage for LFA 182. The Pentagon has hosted more than 20 fight nights over the past decade, and the LFA CEO says it was made for MMA.
The fans are always here. They love coming to the fights, and they always support it. So this place is like a home away from home for us.
Tickets for LFA 182 are still available online or through the Sanford Pentagon box office. We're going to tell you why fans can expect an action-packed night of fights tonight on KELOLAND News. We've often covered stories about the need for more affordable housing in Sioux Falls, but the lack of housing options isn't a new problem. The Interlakes Community Action Partnership in Madison is an agency that started nearly 60 years ago as part of then-President Lyndon Johnson's War on Poverty. The program helps people struggling to overcome financial challenges so they can move into a place of their own.
So if they're needing to get structure in their lives and get their kids to school, we talk about that. We talk about money and budgeting. We talk about employment, increasing employment, potentially sometimes school. It just kind of depends on what their path is.
A Sioux Falls single mom now has a place to live after enrolling in a program offered through Interlakes. Find out how she overcame addiction to provide housing for her family in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10 o'clock. In national developments, the U.S. Supreme Court began hearing arguments this morning over whether or not former President Donald Trump can be criminally prosecuted. The outcome could have major implications on the special counsel's 2020 election interference case against Trump, as well as for this year's presidential race. CBS News' Skylar Henry reports from the Supreme Court.
Protesters gathered outside the Supreme Court Thursday, where justices heard arguments about whether former President Donald Trump should be free from criminal prosecution, a claim he reiterated at a campaign stop in New York.
We have a big case today in the Supreme Court on presidential immunity. A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
Trump's lawyers argued that a former president has immunity from prosecution when it comes to official acts during his tenure in office.
Without presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, there can be no presidency as we know it.
Some justices seem skeptical of that argument.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical.
In filings, the special counsel argues that instead of an official act, Trump was working to carry out a, quote, private scheme to remain in power by fraud.
Such presidential immunity has no foundation in the Constitution.
The Supreme Court's decision will determine whether special counsel Jack Smith can try Trump for his alleged efforts to interfere with the 2020 election. Two lower courts have already rejected Trump's claims of immunity, but legal experts say it's possible the Supreme Court will look for a middle ground.
They may not go the full distance that Trump is requesting, but they might be willing to recognize a more limited form of criminal immunity.
The Supreme Court's decision is expected by July. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Now, there is a possibility that the Supreme Court sends the case back to the lower courts, leading to further delays. And even if the Supreme Court sides with the Justice Department, it remains to be seen whether the special counsel will have enough time to try this case before the November election.